Thank you. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here.
Commissioner Boyd?
Here, we have quorum. Row officer reports and comments. Rich?
Yes,
How are you
sir.
doing today? Please approach the,
Thank you.
approach the bench.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Boy, before you even start, you're off to a nice start this year.
We're off to a tremendous.
Yeah,
We really
I didn't
are.
mean to steal your thunder,
No,
but
that's
excuse
fine,
me.
that's fine. I'm happy to submit the first county treasurer's collection report for 2022. And as you can see, for the month of February, we collected $3.6 million. We look at a comparison from 2021 at 3.1, it's almost $500,000 invested.
Great.
So yes, that's great thanks to our Orange County taxpayers for paying their taxes so expediently.
And I appreciate, by the way, the breakdown too.
So got the
That's
breakdown
helpful,
for you,
yeah.
Edwin, yes, so there you go, there's the breakdown in units, the general fund, debt services and library. So we are at 12% of collections for the year.
Yeah, that's great.
And so far, so yeah, so this is the most, I look back, this is the most we've done.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
So
Oh, that's great.
it is, yes. Yeah. So the tax outreach will be starting on March 15th, beginning with Scott Township. We'll be heading there and then to March, April, and May, collecting out in the municipalities. Our trade is at 2.5 million currently. Any questions?
The only thing I'll note is that traditionally the county collects roughly 75 to 80% of taxes by the end of the discount period. So we're off to a tremendous start, and we're lucky to be in a good position to pay down the train here, hopefully by end of March.
Yes, that's awesome.
So that's what we're, I think, based on this collection rate,
If this keeps up,
because usually it's April that we really start hitting the swing. I imagine it'll still be April.
we do.
Um,
Yes, we've been very, very busy.
But yeah, this is a good kickoff to the revenue cycle.
Good kickoff, definitely so.
Any other questions, comments for the treasurer? All right, thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rich.
Hi, Dave.
Hello. Public comments. Anybody have a public comment?
Good to see you.
Dave, nothing?
No comments.
Fiscal and contractual. We have just a couple repository properties here with us today. First on deck, we'll make this resolution 2022-55. We have Shenango Street in the city of Newcastle. $500 bid by a Mr. Raymond Adu. Hope I'm saying that right. Again, it's looking at 319 North Shenango Street, parcel ID number 01-010100. That's been one of the first parcels we reported. Questions, comments on this? I'll note that the city has signed off on it. No response from the school district.
And what you just said, I'm assuming about the school district, I'm assuming that's applicable to the next two as well, since Taylor Township's part of the
Yeah.
Newcastle School District. Okay, thank you.
I'll take a motion to approve 2022-55.
I'll move.
I'll second. We have motion second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Resolution 2022-56. We have here, and this is rejected by the city of Newcastle, property located at 111 East North Street, parcel ID number 02-046500, bid by Thomas Casey. Rejected due to insufficient paperwork and the property itself is dilapidated and uninhabitable. Interestingly enough, just a comment on this, these will be the last ones that we'll see that have Attorney Pinellas
Right on it. I hadn't thought about that. You're right.
I'm looking at the signature and I'm thinking that these had to have obviously been.
Yep.
done
Yeah,
previously.
January 14th. Bill was still with us then.
Yeah, it's still working.
Yep.
But I will take, what we'll do here is, as we do with the rejections, take a motion to approve and then just vote it down.
I'll so move.
And I'll second. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
No.
Commissioner Boyd?
No.
Motion fails.
Thank you.
And I might make just a quick comment, just to reiterate that our practice has been twofold. First, that the three taxing bodies review these requests or these bids, and if one of the three rejects the bid is rejected, in fact. But it still does come before us, and I know for myself, I try to be very mindful of the position taken by the local municipality in particular, because they're closest to the issue at hand. They know more about their properties than we do. And, so we generally try to follow suit. So thank you for letting me offer that.
Absolutely. This might be one that we don't follow suit. This will be 57. The reason, and I've spoken to Justin Ponziani, I've spoken to Jason. Jason's been called Mr. Ponziani. This bid at Taylor Township was rejected by the supervisors with the rationale they believe the property would be worth more than $500. Under the law, that's not a legitimate reason to reject the bid. You're only able to reject bids for certain properties dilapidated and uninhabitable, the property owner owes back taxes on something, or the property bidder owes back taxes on something, et cetera. That $500 minimum bid price is set by the county, and so rejecting it for the purpose of we believe it's worth more than $500 isn't one of those rationales, is one of those reasons. So even though this specific bid, regardless of what we do here today, it's still rejected. I don't want to put the county into a position where we take a vote and it's not a legitimate reason to reject for that $500 rationale.
Would the bidder have the opportunity to resubmit his bid at some point? I assume he can.
So there's a bigger issue there. Insofar as this property, from what I understand, has been sold actually after this process started.
Oh,
through the redevelopment authority.
okay, to another individual?
To another individual.
Well, then it's kind of a moot point for us, isn't it?
So it is. Jason's diving into that a little bit. It's an interesting situation.
In light of that, I'd be maybe more comfortable in tabling this for the time being. Were you thinking the same
I'm
thing?
fine with that.
Okay.
My only question is, are we on a time clock to approve or deny?
Tish didn't say anything about this,
Just table the damn
so
thing.
Yeah.
Call it that.
Yeah.
usually she'll let us know if it's urgent, so.
Okay.
That being said, are you open to taking a motion to table?
I'll take a motion to table.
So moved.
Second, we have a motion to table resolution 2022-57 until we get a little bit more legal clarity on it. Question on motion, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes to table.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 57 has been put on the table. I think that's all the repository properties we have today. Next up, we have receipt of bids / proposals for the coroner's office, the 2010 Dodge Grand Caravan. Dave, I believe that's why you're here with us today. It looks like we got one.
We got one, yes,
So we're taking it.
we got one.
I'll note the car's worth it goes down to $5,000. It's not in very good condition.
The bid is from RMJ Realty LLC, and the bid amount is $300.
Where are they located, David? Does it say?
Newcastle, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
This might be one of those scenarios, just due to the nature of the bid, it might be not the worst idea to go out and see what will we be able to get to scrap the thing. But I'll take a motion to table for the time being and refer to the appropriate administrative officials.
I'll move to table.
We have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes to table.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Thanks, Dave.
No problem.
Thanks, David.
Up next, we have a number of warrant registers for February 25, 23, 22, and 18. And I'll give you a minute to check those over, Dan, and I'll take a motion to
Thank you.
accept and file the warrant registers.
Appreciate that. I've reviewed them. I will move to accept the warrant registers as submitted.
All right, I'll second that. We have a motion second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Up next, the minutes from February 22nd, 2022. And Dan, I'll give you, again, a minute to check those over and take a motion to approve the minutes or make any changes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I have reviewed them and I'll move for adoption of the minutes.
All right, I'll second that. We have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have one presentation of written communications today from Americal Aggregates, from the Gardner Mine in Wayne Township, which is an Act 14 notification of their intent to file an air quality state-only operating permit with DEP on behalf of Americal Aggregates located in Wayne Township. As I generally note, the various developers, governments, anybody applying for certain permits within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania are required in many instances notify the Board of Commissioners they've applied for such permits. We have no approval authority or denial authority over those permits. They're just simply required to let us know what activities are taking place in Lawrence County. So I will take a motion to accept and file correspondence.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Staff reports. Any member of staff has anything to report about mail already on the agenda? Nothing. Commissioner reports and comments. I'm in good shape. I don't have anything to add right now. Dan?
Same here. Cool. No report today. Thank you.
Absolutely, keep plowing through. Next up, we've got resolution 2022-58, budget transfer. What this is we had a little car accident, and so our insurance is reimbursing us for that car accident. So we're increasing just the insurance reimbursement, and increasing the DA's expense accounts where we took the deductible out of. And premium. 58, any questions?
No questions.
I'll take a motion to approve 58.
I'll move.
We have a motion. I'll second. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. This is my understanding. The prison board discussed this. What's going on here is instead of filling the intel officer position at the jail, we're going to fill that with a law enforcement position in the form of a detective. Detective position is already on the books. And so what we're doing is basically we're transferring the monies that would be used to fund the intel officer position into the DA's salary to fund the detective position, which will be used effectively for the same thing. Question on that?
No, just to note, you are correct. This matter was discussed at the last public meeting of the prison board.
I'll take a motion to approve 59.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. We have a motion to second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Vanessa, please call the roll.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. This is transferring again, knowing that we were going to have some movement in terms of location at Rick Russo's magisterial office. I put basically all the funding into one land building item to transfer out as needed until such time as that move is complete. This is transferring some of that money around to allow for a couple more months at the Alls House building. So that's that one. And then Nicholson, moving from contingency account to paid charges due to increased fees for credit, debit card used as payment. That's where we're at. I'll take a motion to approve administrative. Any questions?
No questions.
Take a motion to approve administrative transfers A through D.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. We have motion to second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no ordinances on the table for final action or for introduction. Next regularly scheduled commissioners meeting is 10 a.m. Tuesday, March 8th in this room. I actually believe, just a slight note on that, I believe that that local share grant state came out with up to $1 million. I believe Lawrence County Community Action Partnership is going to be coming in to basically run what their application is through. So we'll hear a little bit from them next week. That'll be a good grant if we're able to get it.
Along those lines, I'm glad you brought that up. I have an RIDC board meeting that day in Pittsburgh. It starts at 9 o'clock. My assumption is Commissioner Spillvogel will be here, so you'll have the physical quorum. And as we develop next week's agenda, if you need me to phone in at 10 o'clock, I can do that. So we'll see the lay of the land later in the week.
Yeah.
If there's some issues that do need to be voted on, I can duck out of that meeting and call in if you need me to.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
And if we do have, we'll try to keep it short. If we do have
No, that's okay. That's okay. And if the votes are more routine and mundane,
Mhm.
if you don't need me, fine. But if you do, I can phone in.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
And there's gonna be a planning commission meeting on Wednesday, March 9th, 2022 at New Beaver Borough Building. Anything I'm missing?
Just, and this is getting a little bit ahead, Mr. Chairman, but the Board of Commissioners will not meet on March 22. That coincides with the State County Commissioners Conference in Harrisburg. So I believe we're not scheduled that day. Thank you.
Absolutely. Public comments? Seeing none, I will adjourn Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. 15 minutes, it's not bad.